Welcome back, folks. Here we are, Denver. Now, not flying for the big airlines. We are just going to be flying today for a small company, flying some passengers here from Denver over to Telluride, so they can enjoy some skiing, of course. Today we are in a Dornier DO228, which is a German, originally a German-made aircraft. It still flies for some companies, airline companies, such as companies in Turkey and so on and so forth. It can fit 19 passengers and various cargos, as you can see. All right, we're on board. As you can see, we came right in here and stepped up into our cockpit area so that we can get some things initiated. We're going to let the passengers finish boarding because we're doing a battery start today. So we're just going to let them go ahead and fill our cabin up here. As you can see, this is where the trusty passengers will be seated for flight. Let's go ahead and jump up. Looks a little overcast today. Now what we have to do here is we have to turn on the main battery. And along with the battery, we have to turn on the bus. There you go. We're not going to turn on generators yet until the engines are started. Or the various inverters that accompany that. Alright, now that we've got that on, let's go ahead and turn our nav lights on. Let's go ahead and lighten up the panel. There we go. Alright, now we'll go ahead and put all of those on for the cabin lighting. We'll go ahead and do half. It'll be for daytime. Interior lights on for the cockpit. Alright, now another thing that we do need to do is jump down here, and we need to go ahead and turn our radio master switch on.
Near Bravo 3.
Now you see that our air traffic control is coming on. Let's initialize our Garmin here. Alright, and let me pull up my charts here for this specific area. Actually, if we go to flight plan here, Denver is already pulled in, so we should be able to also pull up some charts here. Here's the general airport chart here. Denver clearance, November 350 Kilo Tango, looking for IFR to Telluride.
350 Kilo Tango, Denver clearance, confirm aircraft type.
Aircraft is a Dornier 228.
The 350 Kilo Tango, thank you. Clear to Telluride Airport. Denver to departure to Falcon as filed. Maintain 10,000, expect flight level 180, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 126.1, squawk 7365.
Okay, cleared to Telluride, Denver to departure, then Falcon, then it's filed. Climb maintain 10,000, expect flight level 180, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 126.1, squawking 7365, November 350 Kilo Tango.
30 Kilo Tango, read back correct.
So essentially we've got to activate our ignition first and then start. So what we're going to do now is we're going to keep this. We don't have to do anything. That pump is already in the start position, but this is the ignition. Okay, so what we've done is we've opened up the start button, which we're going to hold here. The first thing we need to do is make sure that our parking brake right here is pulled out, and as you can see, the parking brake is set. Alright, without further ado, let's go ahead and turn our ignition into the start position, and we must hold. You know what we forgot to do, of course, is our condition lever. So now this needs to come up. We've got to get it to where it's like this, and we'll bring it up to low or start. Alright, now back up top. It's in the ground position. Okay, now we can go ahead and start our engine. Alright, that start sequence is complete. Let's go over to the first officer side, of course, and we're going to peek our head out and get a visual on it. The engine is up and running here. Alright, here we are, so we'll just ease up here to Mike 5 and come around and take a right and head down to the airport. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get our landing lights on. So here's the interior lights. We said those were good. exterior
Air 8
lights
Delta Lima, contact Reno car
are all good as
118.7.
well. So we want a taxi, so we're going to put that down. And that's it. As you can see, the windsock
5310 Albuquerque Center, thank you. Tucson,
is
perimeter.
blowing perfectly. So as we turn, we'll be right into the parking brake is out. Let's get here and get our heading set up. We need it 353, of course. Alright. 3, 5, 1, 2, 3. Alright, let's again just re-verify that we are on GPS. We are. Let's switch frequencies. Now we need to put in 126.
8 Delta Lima, taxi to Breakfast Alpha, and have a wonderful night.
Decimal 1, because that's our departure frequency.
Thank you.
Alright. Alright.
Picking up, calling to pick up Alpha.
Good evening, ma'am. 56 Tango Bravo. 10 miles
To the right, make sure there's no aircraft coming in. There's not.
I'd like to pick up my I-Park clearance.
Air 56 Tango Bravo, NorCal approach ident.
Alright, so I suppose we'll execute a left turn. The heading 245 would be the smartest thing to do.
Gun 594.
And we're going up to 10,000. Alright, we're on the runway. Takeoff power is set.
Air 56 Bravo, your radar contact, 12 miles northwest of Manteca, VOR. Climbing maintain flight level 190.
Alright, there's our rotation speed.
Flight level 190.
Go. Positive rate.
Southwest 1398, contact
Gears
NorCal
coming
approach
up.
121.3.
Alright, we're going to hand fly the plane now.
Best tower, Cessna 120.
Alright.
Wait for taxi. Exit that way.
Colgan 594, Denver ground, runway 34.
We're heading over to
Right.
heading 245,
Taxi
of
via
course.
Alpha, Golf, shot 1.
Flaps are coming up.
Alpha, Golf, option 1 for 34 right, Colgan 594.
Alright.
36511 Paso ground. I did not call your call sign. I said Colgan 594. That's not
Still
even
making our
close to your
turn
call
over
sign.
to heading,
Listen for your calls before you assume the call is for you. Understand you're looking for a taxi, say the direction
Alright,
of
we're at
departure.
7,000. There's the outer marker of the airport.
Going to be
Still hand flying it.
61, taxi 1.
Let's get on heading 245, of course.
Eastbound.
Alright.
122.
36512, Roger. Contact clearance delivery when you're departing to Charlie. Always want to contact the lowest frequency available, which is clearance delivery, and I'll look at you
Alright, we're
departure
still
instructions.
climbing. Let's go ahead and get our autopilot on. Our yaw damper. We'll do heading altitude select.
069 Delta, contact port 1 approach 124.35.
Alright, now we can come over here. And we'll put it into a climb.
180, contact Seattle Center 126.6.
And as you can see now, we're keeping our heading, and we're going up to 10,000.
Norcar Bus Southwest 1398, descending via Circle 4 arrival, with the formation of arrival.
Alright.
Regular Kilo Tango, contact departure.
Over to departure, number 350, Kilo Tango. Alright, so we're going over to
North
departure now.
Approach, thank you. Expect ILS runway 28 left
I always
approach
want to
from
keep that.
This is Jet 5 Tango Bravo, Oakland Center,
Alright,
maintain
hopefully
flight
we
level
don't have too
220.
many clouds, so that we can get some good scenery of these mountains once we come in.
Tower Southwest 1398, ILS 28 left.
069 Delta,
boy, we are
maintain
bouncing around
3,500.
Alright, let's go ahead and come over here to the
Southwest
first officer
1388,
side.
San Francisco Tower, runway 28 left, clear to land, wind 270 at 23, gust
And
28.
let's bring these levers back slightly.
Crew land 28 left, Southwest 1398.
Not necessarily to cruise though, just a little bit up, right there.
Colgan 594, contact
Alright.
departure.
Move to deposit, Colgan.
Alright. Go ahead and change this. As you can see, we're cruising right along. There's Larks here, so if you look on the other display, you can see our route of travel is here, even though our heading is set here. Our route of travel is on this line here. Now let's go ahead and look at the overall picture. So we have quite the route to go. We're moving right along, and as you can see, now we are definitely over some terrain, some mountainous terrain. So we're over the mountains now. That's why it's going to continue to probably be bumpy, and we'll probably be over all this whole system until we get to Telluride, if you can see that. Coming right there, this is Blue Mesa over here.
Approach November 1126 Alpha. Could you give me
that's our route.
Frequency again?
It's not really that many miles, however, you can see here, you know, it's not really that many nautical miles.
Okay, 132.2.
I mean, they add up, of course. But I think the most important thing is that to recognize that this aircraft does not fly fast at all. So this is not a, you know, fast-moving aircraft. You know, there's no traffic here, which looks good right now in the air. Come here and look at the terrain feature, and this will give you some proximity of certain terrain that's within us, you know, so that we can watch out for that. So there is nothing being there reported on there, so hopefully that's functioning. There's plenty of terrain below us. But we can also note that there's terrain here, and I know the MSAs are minimum safe altitudes, and of course we filed way above that, so we have nothing to worry about there. Back up, and looks like we are out of the clouds. Thank goodness. Still a very bumpy ride, as you can see the plane dancing around everywhere. But I'm going to bring in the approach that I'm thinking about doing. It's a non-precision approach, but it is VFR conditions. So I believe that we are going to do this. So this is a VOR Cat A or B VOR DME approach into Telluride. And with this approach, essentially what we'll do is we'll get to ETL, which is in our flight plan, and we're going to ensure that if we're not at 12,500 at ETL, that we're going to have to conduct this procedure turn. So we'll hit here the VOR, and of course, as you can see, it is a counterclockwise procedure, right? Because the ticker normally goes this way. We're going counterclockwise. So it's a counterclockwise procedure. We'll head 275 for the west, and then 95 back to the VOR, passing through the VOR. And these should be 1 minute legs, you know. Once we get to that altitude, then we go direct MAPSI, and then from MAPSI it looks like we should have a good view of the runway, and it looks like here at MAPSI, here's 12.5. Let's go ahead and get the screen where you can fully see it. So it's not much. Okay, so from that approach that I was referring to, we would come from this direction where my cursor's in. Of course, that's that MAPSI point over here. We should have a clear view of the runway. We'll come down here and be downwind, and then we're gonna swing it back on around here and come in on runway 27 here, of course. So that's the plan for that. Again, if you wanted to go back here,
P1 4715. I just want to confirm that flight runway 25. That was transition.
The approach that we're going to pick is this VOR DME, and there it is right there. Once again, you can see it. This is where we conduct our procedure turn.
P1 4715.
At ETL, which is cones.
That's what said west transition. The TRACON will assign you an actual runway.
Once we leave that procedure turn inbound to the runway or to the airport, we'll come in at 95.
Oh, okay, roger.
Right?
Thank you, P1 47.
So we'll come in at 95, right? Then we're going to come and swing around right here, make a left downwind right into runway 27. Hopefully, then we'll do a back taxi, of course, to the terminal, because as you see, there is no taxiway. So once we come in here, we'll do a back taxi and on into the terminal area to get the passengers disembarked. On this approach, we have to stay south of the runway for circling to land, which we're doing. Terrain permits us to do so. All right. There is Telluride, folks. Alright, as you can see, we got one stage of flap. Gear is still up. Alright, so let's get a little bit of a wider turn. Give ourselves a gap. Watch that mountain system, of course, there. Alright. Let's pretty much get on a eastern heading. We'll be parallel with the runway at heading 9 or 5. We're going gear down, folks. All right. Okay, gear is down, 3 green, verified. All right, come on over here. Nice soft turn. There is the field. So let's get a little wider. What we're gonna do right over here, we'll keep it steady. We'll go ahead and make our turn there and get it on in. All right. Getting ready to put takeoff flaps. All right. Getting a little windy here. There we are. All right, with these turboprops, you gotta make sure that you're keeping them fully powered. All right, kind of a scary approach here. All right, here in a second, we'll go ahead and make our turn. We're about 10,400 on the altitude. All right, you guys can see those winds kind of blowing us around. We're going to go ahead and start making our controlled turn. On over. Just kind of blowing us around, folks. No worries here. All right, folks. We're staying at about our 10,000. We're starting to reduce power slightly. You can see there's the runway there. All right. All right, making our approach here. To the Telluride Airport. All right, speed looks good. I have stable control of the aircraft.
400, 300. Traffic. 100.
All right.
50, 40, 30, 20.
All right, folks. There we are. Coast on down. No need for reversers at this point. We'll just go ahead and do a back taxi. There we go. Telluride, November 350 Kilo Tango has landed on runway 27, heading to the end for a back taxi to the terminal, Telluride. All right. We can come here and do our turnaround. We're going to go flaps up. We'll keep our landing lights on. Welcome into Telluride, folks. All right. Go ahead and do our runway turnaround here. All right. So definitely an interesting approach into the Telluride area. Very bumpy. But we managed to do a very, might I add, very sloppy VOR DME approach into Telluride. However, we did it. There was nothing worried. I mean, we just didn't hit our VOR right as we should to get on that 275 heading. Maybe we should have approached our procedure turn a little differently. However, we did make it. It was close enough. Everything was controlled. And, yeah, welcome into Telluride. Looks like we got another aircraft getting ready for departure here. All right. Let's go ahead and make our turn. And he's going down there to take off, of course, into the wind. Telluride, November 350 Kilo Tango, clear of runway 27 Alpha 3, taxi into the ramp Alpha. Alright, let's go ahead and get our landing and strobes off. Alright. Strobes are off. Now we can come on in over here to the terminal area. Alright. There's another plane there. Must have brought some passengers in. Alright, we're supposed to go right next to him. This is the terminal. Alright. There he is. We'll line ourselves up accordingly. Staggered, of course. Alright. That looks good about right there. Let's set that old parking brake, folks. Parking brake is set. Let's bring our conditioner levels down lower. There we are. Alright, let's go ahead and get our taxi light off, of course. And we've made it in a Telluride. We'll get the aircraft shut down.